Good morning. Thank you for the donations yesterday to those that donated, and especially to Fast Cracked Screen and Mobile Phone Repair. And especially thanks to them because it's not the first time they supported me. And it's not the money. I couldn't really give a fuck about money. I could never really give a fuck about money. Like several times over the last few years I've had no food, but if I go out on the street and I go for a walk about on days I've no food, usually I'll find little care packages, what I call care packages from the universe, and these might be like food left in a bag, but they're often left in a bag beside the bin. And sometimes I find even whole takeaways like rice and mushroom. The other day, like I found rice and mushroom, a rice and a whole takeaway thing of rice and mushroom and bread and everything in a bag. And I call these little care packages from the universe, but the universe keeps me alive. So I'm never really overly concerned about having no money or no food. Like I took a photo of one the other day, and I'll post it for you and show you one of these little care packages. They're grand. Or even I was just thinking yesterday, like everybody gives out about their immune system and their about getting sick and about their getting sick and everything else. But if you I eat trash and smoke fag butts off the ground, and this is what boosts your immune system. Because like if you're going around with all this cross contamination bullshit and everything else, Salt Pay doesn't give a fuck about the cross contamination bullshit. Like I remember being in Turkey. And I didn't eat meat when I was in Turkey. I didn't eat meat when I was in Turkey because I poisoned myself. I remember one time I ate meat in Turkey and I was puking out one end and shiting out the other end. I was lying on the floor of the jacks, and oh, that was a miserable experience. Like that was. Then a doctor came. Obviously, he's gone around all day with these fucking injections, but he came out and gave me an injection because I thought I was nearly dead. I came out with this fucking injection, 50 quid for the injection, €50 for the injection, €50 in Turkey, like €50 in Turkey is a lot of money, like. It was back then. That's back maybe 2007 or 2008, and that was big money. That fucker going around all day with those injections, I'd say, poison with a fucking lamb curry, I'd say it was. But I seen two lads doing cooking in Turkey, and one lad had a big pile of little fish, and he was cooking all the little fish rolling them in batter. This is on a stand now in a marketplace, and in a car park sort of thing. And he taking little fish, throwing them in the oil, then he getting the bread, and there was none of this bullshit about cross contamination or anything else. This is all on a table in a stand, and another fella then cooking offal. And I love the smell of the offal. Now most people would find it smell like a sewer, but I love the smell of offal. I love offal, but he was cooking all the offal and the bang off the offal. As I said, most people would find it repugnant, but I enjoyed it. I would have liked to taste his butter, but even my soul said, no fucking way, mate, no fucking way. And he was cooking all the offal. It was the same shit, just throw it onto things, stir it around a little bit. And I said to myself, if those two lads were in the West, they'd kill more than cancer. The two of them put together would kill more than cancer. Because there's no way, like I'd have a fair constitution now. Like I'd have a fairly good immune system at this stage, and after doing all the time like eating off the road in Turkey, but still like that I wouldn't have been. I don't think I like. But these people have built an immune system to this. Do you understand what I'm saying? But all this bullshit about the cross contamination and all this is making you fucking soft. Everything's making you fucking soft. Do you know what I mean? And this is why Julius Caesar left Egypt, because he was getting too soft. And like it's very important that I don't get too soft. But anyway, I'm after digressing because I wanted to talk about other things. I wanted to talk about that people are the essence of life, and the most important thing is have people believe in you, that people get behind you and believe in you and support you, because people are the essence of life. It's not about the money, it's about people, and people. This is why when people say they want to build businesses, that they focus on the money. Where will I get the money? Where will I get the money? The money is not the most important fucking thing. The most important thing is to strive for excellence. That's the first thing you do in any business, is strive for excellence. And the second thing is you need people. People. I remember like back in when I started this whole journey, like I used to have to page the psychedelic therapist, and then one of the last videos I made on a psychedelic therapist was I had this board which I used to use for the teaching, which I used to use for the videos, and I drew this big cobweb, and I laid out this big elaborate plan. I said, I'm going off now. I'm going to build an empire, and the universe asked me, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to go to the Philippines and commandeer mango plantations. And I said, anything else? And I said, yeah. What is one other thing? I want to do a big festival like the Burning Man in Spain. I want to call it Cloud 9. And the universe said, okay, let's go do that then. And I've never forgotten this, because I wrote out this big thing, and I gave I said about how I'm going to do this festival in Spain called Cloud 9, which might be even a franchise of the Burning Man, but it's going to be like the Burning Man. And I started to ring artists, friends of mine, and event managers and things like this. And I said, are you ready for this? And they all said, yeah, we're on board. They all got behind me. But then the universe said, I said, when are we going to the Burning Man? Because I had to go to the Burning Man first to get the idea, and to have the experience, to know exactly like where I'm going down. Even though the team for this is going to be called Alice in Wonderland. The team is Alice in Wonderland. But the universe said maybe 2023. And I says, fuck, that's ages away. But you're right, grand, right, go on, we'll drive on. And it doesn't look like I'll be going to the Burning Man this year, but that's okay. Like, that's still okay. That's like, if I was dead set on going to the Burning Man this year, that'd be an expectation. Now, I will go to the Burning Man because I have to go to the Burning Man to have that experience. But I'll bring a few with me. You know what I mean? I will. I think I asked earlier down this page who's coming to the Burning Man. I thought it might be this year, but it's not going to be this year because the tickets will be out now, and I don't have a pot to piss in. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But I drew this big web on the board, and I said, I'm going to do it exactly like this. I'm going out and I'm going to weave like a web, like a spider. I'm going to weave a web. And that's exactly what I've been doing all these years. You know what I mean? I've been weaving a web, a network of people. I left the very best of a crew back in Sofia. In Hostel Mostel in Sofia, where I spent 18 months there. But every night I met people from all around the world, and I've loads of connections. I have one of the best in Hostel Mostel. I have what I believe to be the very best arcade and casino manager. I have a history professor and history is really, really important. I tell you, people don't understand how important history is, and he's a history professor from here, and this is where I'm at, like this is where it's at, so I need to know the history of this place. And so he's going to be my advisor in that regard. So I have a history professor. I'm going to set him up. The plan is to set him up doing the war games. I think he plays Mortal Kombat, one of those. I'm not good with the games. I don't know all the games. But I know he's all headshots, and he's really, really good, so I'm going to stream this. Good chess player as well, but I brought him down to the park and he's handed his ass on a plate. Because down in the park in Sofia, that's where you'll find the best chess players. I'll tell you that. You want to play chess, they'll play you for 2 level game, but they're the best. I'm telling you, they're the best. Because I thought he was an extremely good player and the very best chess player. But no, he's handed his ass on a plate. They play speed chess, 10-minute games. But these guys are fucking all day is play chess. But they're absolutely the best chess player. If you play chess and you think you're so fucking good, because sometimes people get a little bit arrogant with the chess, I found, come here to Sofia and go down to the park. I forget the name of the park, but they'll tell you the name of the park. Go down to the park and play a game, and play a game for 2 lev, and you'll very quickly find out how good you are, how good you are. Now I said to him, would you not come down here every day, and for 2 lev you can improve your game. But I know how it feels to be handed your ass on a plate and you put your tail between your legs and you go off and you don't. It takes a while to recover from that, and I know this, but that's okay anyway. Besides, we can still do the history and stream the games. But at the very best, I have a chef there, I have a video editor there, I have a digital marketer there, all living in Hostel Mostel in Sofia. The man owns his hat. My right-hand man, he's as old as souls go. He's old souls energy, as old as souls go. You want to see that man? Like I was talking recently about your attitude in the face of adversity. You want to see this man's attitude in the face of adversity? And I tell you, when you're hanging with me, you'll face some adversity, and he really did face some adversity. As even the night of his birthday was as I say, was some experience where he said, "You made a right cunt of yourself." And I said, "Did I?" But we even got a kicking one night off a taxi driver. But he got loads of adversity, but his attitude in the face of adversity is legendary. I'm telling you, legendary. And they're all back there. And then in Plovdiv, the same. And it's all connections. I've maths teachers, everything. I've loads of connections. And all these people, I ask everybody, what is your use? What is my use for you? What is my use for you? And I've use for them all. We all build this together. We're going to build this together. Big empire together. Everybody doing their role. And in Turkey, where it all started, I've loads of friends in Turkey, loads of friends who believe in me and believe in exactly what I'm doing. I have to double back on 2 businesses in Turkey. The little Turkey here with the ring in her nose, she studies law in Turkey. You know, everything is with reason. Everything I do is with reason. I couldn't take the management of the hostel in Plovdiv because I said it needs management. I couldn't take that for a simple reason. I told the owner I was computer illiterate. But so when I owned the talent shop in Carlow, when I owned a tenant shop in Carlow, like that had a complicated booking system. I ran that, and the nail bar, complicated booking system. I ran that. It's not the problem with the booking system. The problem is if I start running that hostel, in order to run it the way I want to run it, in order to market it and provide everybody with the very best experience, that's a shitload of hard work. That's head down, ass up, and then I wouldn't be able to focus on the big picture, on the big thing. So the whole thing is that I don't get too locked in. I don't get too locked into one business. I have to stay weaving the web, and then bring it all together. And I will bring it all together in time. But believe me, even though this looks like chaos, there is order in the chaos. I can assure you that. There is order in the chaos. I'm here for a reason, here in Veliko Turnova. I wanted to wear soft in the mountains. I'm going to start, there's a good gym here. I'm going to start doing the training. I'll call that stream, this is Sparta. There's a good kitchen here. I'm going to start, well, if any money I get, I'm going to buy a few things. I'm going to buy a slow cooker, a rice steamer, a blender, and then I'm going to start doing meals and streaming that here as well. I'm going to start cooking. I might even start doing meals here for the guests. I'll see about that. But again, that I need a hand because that gets me very bogged down. Like the little one I texted the other night. I met her at a party the last time I was home. And I was talking to her then. I was saying to her after about if she'd be interested in doing something together, doing business together. And then I messaged her the other night, but all I wanted to say was, come out here. If you want to build this business, come out here and start digging. Because when you carry your own water, that's when you know the value of every drop. You have to carry your own water. You have to build these things from the ground up. Every business I ever had, I built from the ground up, from nothing, because I never had money. I built them from nothing. Even when I had business, I never had money because I spent it. And I'm going to do the very same again. Stay reinvesting the money. Money's not worth a fuck you sitting in the bank. Not worth a fuck you sitting in the bank. Not worth a fuck. Yeah, so everything is how you use it. But yeah, and I'm going. So I'm going to start training the women, start doing the Muay Thai, start doing the airsoft in the ridges and the fields around here in the military training grounds. I'm going to use the military training grounds. Start doing airsoft. We're going to play, but we're going to train at war. We're going to train war games in military tactics. I'm going to have people for this as well, and people to teach this and show us this. People who've been in the army, people have experience in this regard. I have people to teach this who are involved in this business and will teach us this. I'm going to build a crew of Amazons, a crew of shield maidens. Because this is important. This is important because you have to control what's yours to control. So you need, a little army, if you like. You know what I mean? Shield maidens, and the reason I'm going to do the training and I'm going to do the Muay Thai is because I've never asked anybody to do anything I wouldn't do myself. I'm going to do the digging as well. But it's very important. Anybody who wants to be a part of this has to get in it, start and build it from the ground up. That's give me a hand to build the fucking thing. But there'll be nobody fucking if I come along to people at a later stage. And I'm paying people money to do things. I don't know if I'll ever do that. What I'll do is I'll give them the opportunity to start their own business. But let me tell you, it has to be built from the ground up. It has to be like blood, sweat, and tears because that's the only way You need experience. Everything has to be experienced. That's the most important thing, is experience, experience, experience. I spent a lot of years gathering experience. You need experience. Fantasies aren't what fucked you. Experience. Good morning.